I'm Jilly, the popular TikToker. I already have 3 million followers and I'm used to constant marks from them. But on this day, they went crazy. They sent me tons of videos of some village girl. Are you kidding me? This is an account with knitting lessons. But when I saw the blogger in that video, I was blown away. She was my exact copy. I, of course, was often copied, but this time the girl was just a splitting image of me. I don't believe in miracles since childhood, but she even had the same voice. I was shocked, but then I thought it would be fun to shoot a video with her. This would definitely fall into the trends. The girl's name was Meg. I texted her and asked her to meet me at the cafe tomorrow. Oddly, she agreed very quickly. What if this was some kind of setup? The next morning, I pulled my hood up so the fans wouldn't recognize me and went to the meeting. To be honest, for a year I was already pretty exhausted from filming all sorts of events and this increased attention. I was considered the most scandalous star of TikTok, but I made good money, true. I was very lonely. Because of my popularity, I did not have any real friends at all, and sometimes I wanted to become just an ordinary person again, who did not need to check likes and views every 5 minutes, and be afraid that I would be photographed from an unsuccessful angle. Constantly looking around, I went into the cafe. I was uneasy and felt like this was some kind of prank. But then I saw Meg at the Comer table. Wow. She really looked a lot like me. Meg waved at me. But when I got closer, I saw that she had a different shape of the nose and a bunch of moles on her neck. Meg immediately said that she admired me and how quickly I was gaining an audience. She had long wanted to pump up in blogging and be as cool as I was. You know, Meg, popularity is cool. But being a blogger isn't as easy as it sounds. And then I came up with something. What if Meg and I switched places? She would replace me for my fans, and I could finally live a peaceful life. I made up my mind and told Meg about it, but she hesitated and said that she could not do the same cool TikToks, and the subscribers would see us right away. Come on, it'll work. You will only visit different fashionable parties. I'll even pay for it. What's there to think about? Meg was silent and then quietly said that she agreed because she really needed money right now. I was so happy. My copy would work for me. Cool, all I had to do was change Meg's clothes. My copy had to look the part. So I took Meg shopping. I had to pick up some glamorous looks. The copy was so confused that she didn't even object. At the store, I told her that her first assignment was waiting for her tonight. She needed to go to the next star party in the mansion, sign a few autographs, smile, and that's all. I was sick of them already. Soon, Meg looked like a real celebrity. I quickly put her in a taxi, and then I went home. For the first time in a long time, I was going to enjoy a quiet evening in my apartment. But no such luck. Meg was tagged in a bunch of photos. From the first comment, I almost went crazy. The follower wrote that Meg was replaced today. The comment was liked by 500 people. I read on intently. Jilly's nice today. She hasn't been rude to anyone tonight, and hundreds more of the same. When Meg finally returned, I immediately ran into her and asked her why she was being so nice. But all Meg could say was that she was absolutely delighted with this life. At the party, she was even offered to become the face of a cosmetics brand and took a few photos. What? Meg, are you crazy? You have moles all over your neck, and I don't have any. Followers will immediately guess everything. I immediately deleted all my photos from Instagram with an open neck and posted a picture of Meg. Let the followers think that I have always had moles. The next morning, followers continued to admire me at yesterday's party and liked a new photo. The plan with my copy still worked. I could finally get some rest. But it was not so easy. I always had to be on the lookout. I might have been recognized while Meg was hanging out in another part of town. I went to a movie once and just put on my 3D glasses as I was accosted by 2 chicks. They were asking how Jilly had ended up in the movie theater when she'd posted the story from the spot 5 minutes ago. I told them that they had got it all wrong and quickly ran away through the emergency exit. The fans looked after me suspiciously. After that, I was afraid to go out and I spent most of my time at home. I didn't want anyone to recognize me again. But after 2 weeks of such rest, I was terribly bored. I usually dealt with this by one means. I arranged a live in TikTok. I prepared myself. I put on a new tight dress and turned on the stream. The mood was just cool. But suddenly a wave of hate hit me. I didn't understand what was going on, but followers began to write that I was somehow evil. And that I looked fat in a dress. Some jerk wrote that he saw me at the party yesterday. I was much kinder and more beautiful. In a panic, I cut off the live. It's just me. You've always liked my sarcasm. After the live, 1,000 people unsubscribed from me. What a thrash! Is Sweet Meg doing any better? I'm sure you'll soon get tired of her too. I called Meg and told her it was force majeure. Meg had to come and do the next live right away. I didn't think she could do any better than I could. But at least I wouldn't have to listen to all of this hate. Meg asked for my TikTok password, just in case if she would need to make an extraordinary live. Reluctantly, I handed her the information. Okay, I would change my password in a week when my fans want me back. Every night, Meg did her live and I watched the stream. The audience was growing and I couldn't understand why it was happening. Fans, are you blind? I had to do something, so on the eve of the next live, I handed her an idiotic second-hand dress. She would definitely not be able to be a princess. I was looking forward to the wave of hate, but all of a sudden, Meg was showered with compliments, like, in this simple dress, she's even better. She finally stopped looking like a doll. The mood was ruined, but in the evening, I got a call from the courier. He had a gift for me, from a fan. Well, finally at least someone had come to their senses. I had just pulled a brand new smartphone out of the box when Meg burst into the living room, snatched it out of my hands, and said it was for her. What's the matter? Meg said that she had been hanging out with my ex, a cool rapper, for a couple of weeks now, and he was sending her presents. I didn't believe it. Then Meg showed a picture of her hugging him, where she gave the fans the finger. This was my signature gesture. It was simply unbearable. I freaked out, telling her to get out of my life. I didn't need her services anymore. Meg looked at me quizzically and said that brainless dolls like me were not worthy of fame. She always knew she could be better than me, and she proved it with ease. I was just taken aback by her impudence and could not even object, and Meg walked away triumphantly. I only understood one thing. I should have told the fans the whole truth sooner. I quickly made a video with a bare neck and was going to post it on TikTok. See? The real Jilly doesn't have any moles. I already came up with a caustic comment to the photo, as I realized that I couldn't log into my account. What's going on? The password didn't fit. I texted Meg and asked for my account back, but she sent me a mocking smile in response. That was the last straw. How dare she? It's me, Jilly, not she. And then the bell rang. Meg has finally come to her senses. But the voice on the phone only politely reminded me not to be late for the presentation of the Blogger of the Year award. It started today at 6. Was this some scam? This was the first time I had heard of it. But they said they had already called me exactly a week ago. Then it hit me. Meg was aware and wanted to collect the award herself. I hung up to the phone and frantically searched for a dress. I needed to get ahead of this tinker. Barely made it to the start of the award. I rushed to the dressing room. But when I opened the door, Meg was already inside, sitting in my chair. I expected any reaction. But Meg suddenly burst into tears and begged me not to expose her. She promised that she would no longer go behind my back and would obey me in everything. Meg was suddenly that sweet little girl, and for a second, I felt sorry for her. I went over to Meg to calm her down. But suddenly she grabbed my arm. What the hell was going on? I tried to pull away, but Meg wouldn't let go. She said that it was only because of her that I was nominated at all. After that, Meg dragged me to the bathroom. What are you doing? But she quickly went out and locked the door. Hey, let me out! I tried to handle for a long time, but it was useless. What should I do? I started looking for something to pick the lock with, and then I remembered my hair. It was full of hairpins. I ran to the door and began poking at the lock with my bobby pin. And finally I heard it click. I ran as fast as I could down the long corridor to the stage, but Meg was already standing there. All the searchlights pointed at her. I ran out on stage and waited for the fans to be happy. But the audience was buzzing, demanding that I wouldn't disturb Jilly in her speech. so they thought I was a fake. Max said into the microphone that I was just crazy and needed to be isolated. The guards were already running to the stage. And then someone from the audience shouted that in fact, the real Julie never had ugly moles on her neck until recently. I realized this was my chance. And they shouted that there were no moles on my old Instagram photos. Let them see for themselves. Damn it. I removed them with my own hands. The guards dragged me off the stage. I resisted, shouting that they were wrong. A minute later, I was in the ambulance. The doctor gave me an injection for some reason. Gradually, my eyes began to close. As I drifted off to sleep, I realized one thing bitterly. Life is one and you need to live it on your own. In order not to turn out to be your own fake at one point,